Well, hey everybody. I'm back again because I got something I want to share with you. Um, this wake up for me really started with health, with marijuana, with oppression, um, and really was really difficult to understand. But it's just so clear now. And so I got a few things I want to talk about on this topic. One is five needle pine. Yeah, I'm kind of coming back full circle, but um, still everything applies here. There's five needles to a shoot. Okay, right here. There's five needles coming off of this one shoot. That's how you know you got five needle pine. And you can store these in your refrigerator. It'll stay for probably a month or more. You can freeze them too. You just pluck them off like this. And this, you can see my hand. You can see the size of this. This is enough, uh, maybe more than enough, to do a full-size coffee pot. All right, just to give you an idea. Um, Now, why am I talking about this? Well, it's because of health. And remember when COVID came around, there was a huge run on toilet paper. And now we're looking at shortages on a lot of things. I heard OSB now is $100. This they're zeroing out the dollar. Everything's going to go up, 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 and that's just going to create more chaos and more confusion. And people are confused enough. Now it's time to write a new dictionary for the American people. The word legal needs to go in the swear word category, not to ever be used in front of women and children. It's an administrative process. It is based on generations of misinformation, uh, miseducation, misteachings, and flat out treason, warring with you. Legal, the definition is administrative. It's an administrative process. No one has authority or jurisdiction to administer a free man. All right. So that takes all the nonsense out of it for you, I hope. All right. Now, something else. In the absence of law, the maxims of law rule. In war, in times of war, there is no law. Our governments are warring with us. Their bar attorneys and their administrative courts of treason have no jurisdiction over you unless you give that authority to them. That is a maxim of law. Now, you have the right to defend yourself, your life and limb. That's a maxim. It's a duty to defend yourself. And men, by nature, we're supposed to be the providers and the protectors. We're also supposed to be kind and loving, and what's the words I'm looking for? Family words. Oh my goodness. Well, it might come back to me. Uh, Nuclear family. That's the word I'm looking for. Nuclear family. Good family values. a dad that's there for his kids, a man that's there for his spouse, providing and protecting. All right, so the five needle pine. Shortages, toilet paper. Now, I can't say this with 100% certainty, but I'm going to say that using five needle pine can greatly reduce your consumption of toilet paper. Mm-hmm. You'll find you wipe with the toilet paper and there's nothing on it, or next to nothing on it. This is what I'm finding. Now, I can remember when I was young and still hanging with my high school buddy Kevin. And I believe it was before I was married, so I wasn't 19 yet. And I remember saying to Kevin, man, and there was nothing on the paper. I didn't need paper. And his reaction was, oh, yeah, right. Give me a break. That was his reaction. Unbelievable. Well, I haven't experienced that very much in my life until five needle pine. Now, I've been out here on this property for years. Years. And it's only in the last year that I even tried this. I tried this about a year ago, and I was nervous that I was going to have an allergic reaction and, whatever. So it is possible you could get an allergic reaction. So you can do skin test, right? You can take the pine needle tea and wet it in a cotton ball and put a Band-Aid, put it on your arm or maybe a more sensitive area of skin, just to see, do you get a reaction? You could put a drop or two in your mouth, see if you get a reaction. I do the skin test first. If you're still nervous, then do a drop or two. And if you're still nervous, next day do a sip. If you're still nervous, next day do 2 sips. Pretty soon, you'll be drinking pine needle tea. You'll be drinking a pot of it a day. Without fear, if you want to. And then you might notice what I've noticed. You just don't have so much need for the toilet paper. And there's less floaters. So I use a pine needle tea for a week or so. And then I stopped using it. And then I started using it again. And then I stopped using it. Now, I haven't been keeping track of my diet. I haven't been keeping track of which foods that I ate. But I can tell you, I don't eat too good because of the oppression and the suppression. It's just things are just so lean all the time. And, but that's neither here nor there. The message I want to deliver is pine needle tea. Legal is a word that should be in there with swear words, like you don't use in front of women and children. You wouldn't want to say in church. And it means administrative. So instead of saying legal, say administrative. At least say it in your mind. Get that through your head. And in the absence of law, maxims of law rule. Get that into your head. Study the maxims of law. I have them on my website. oralhealthwithcannabis.com on the services page. Just go there and click on the link and download it. It's yours. Everything's free. I don't charge for anything. All my court cases are there. Not all of them. I haven't got some of them scanned in to where I can put them up there. But you can look at what I've done. And then there's the Americans Notice of Liability, which you can own. You can make it your own. And before you even start with testimony, just coming into court, you set your status, your standing in your jurisdiction. All right, now there's another word that I think needs to be abrogated from use and put in that category of words you just don't use in front of women and children. And that's medical. And a bunch of other words that are all associated with that. Medical equals poison control, because that's what they do. They poison you. It's a fact. And since 2015, all these poison control experts want to know nothing about rejuvenating your gum tissue, preventing calcified plaques, which cause tooth decay because of the plaque that they harbor. And they're formed by plaques, saliva, and carbohydrates. And if you've got a root canal tooth, you've got a bacteria factory in your mouth. And in America, they put in 15 million of them on average a year. It's murder. Pure and simple. Slow poison. The way your teeth are treated are designed to poison you. Dr. Thomas Levy states at an international oral health conference that every root canal tooth is a toxic tooth. And he documents evidence. Dr. Levy is not an oral health care professional. Dr. Levy is a heart surgeon. And he finds oral plaques in the high pressure ventricle on 90% of his patients. So Dr. Levy claims that oral plaques, poor oral health, is the cause of 90% of heart attacks. Now, Dr. Levy, he mentions tubules in your tooth, but he doesn't go into the fact that you have 2 to 6 miles of tubule, depending on the size of your tooth. And that bacteria can fit in there 5 side by side. And he talks about how that bacteria morphs into deadly, toxic bacteria and worse. He says that the immense pressure from chewing, especially in a molar, is more effective at delivering those toxins into your lymphatic system than a syringe. People die from poor oral health. When it's in the upper jaw, you got more of a chance of it affecting your brain and everything in your head. When it's in your lower jaw, you got more of a fact that it's going to cause a breast cancer. It can be a cause of virtually any inflammatory disease. And what are they showing you with this killer disease? I think I don't need to talk about that because it's clear to everybody. It's starting to get through to you, and you can own your authority. You should own your authority. Now, the People's Bureau of Investigation, and that is we the people, has got the American sheriffs and deputies on notice. On Telegram, follow the People's Bureau of Investigation. If you don't have the Telegram app, I suggest you download it and use it. You can get to my Telegram chat channel, which is posted in the description of this and almost all of my videos. And what else have I got posted in here? I believe I got the AFR.org, the American First Republic, National Assembly, Bilateral Social Compact Agreement, the people amended and enacted the Articles of Confederation. They've maintained the establishment and chain of title of the only lawful time period America knew, 1775 to, say, 1789. If I got any of those dates wrong, they're not off by much. So, you can just go to the AFR.org, click on the mailboxes, click on the next several links, become a signatory by autograph, and in a lawful governance. This de facto, all right, that's another word. People need to understand. They throw it around. I'm okay with it. I said it means, what did I say that it means? Unlawful. And de jure is lawful. Mark Christopher says by context I can say that. But he says that de facto means no fact. So a de facto government is a government that operates without facts. It operates on assumptions and presumptions, like a bar attorney, enslaving the people. De jure, no jury. Lawful. No one's judging you. You have freedom with liberty. The rule is cause no harm. And if you cause harm, provide restitution. Be honorable. Be respectful. Be dutiful. All right. Now, the men are going to step up. They are. I know they are. We're seeing it. And the sheriffs, some of you might know what you're doing, and some of you might not know what you're doing. Some of you might know what you're doing and not like it, but you still put that badge on, you still keep doing it. There's other ones that absolutely know what they're doing. All of them are working with the enemy. Bar members, British accredited registry, bar members, in an administrative process. Remember, it's not legal. It's administrative. Legal is administrative. It is not lawful. Not by any stretch of the imagination. So the state's constitution that say the United States Constitution is the supreme law of the land. Well, if it doesn't have a capital T, capital U, capital S, and a capital A, then it is abrogated. Whoosh, gone. It's not part of your state constitution. It has no standing. It has no jurisdiction. It is repugnant to your rights. So don't let people argue that BS with you. It's gone. It has no standing. So you can go to the AFR.org and join the social compact. And as it stands now, I believe I got this right. You're going to have a dual nationality. You'd be an American and you'd be a state national. So here in Michigan, soon I'll be holding a state convention and introducing Michigan's bilateral social compact agreement. And there's more states doing it. These big national assemblies that take you nowhere, they just use your energy. Some of them want to tell you what you can talk about, what you can't talk about, what you can say, what you can't say. Think about that. They got you chasing down rabbit holes like crazy. Quantum grammar. How many people are so concerned about quantum grammar? Who gives a rat's patooey about quantum grammar? What does it have to do with truth? Oh, you can argue something about that. That ain't got nothing to do with truth. Truth is truth. Truth existed long before quantum grammar. What's the percentage of people today that know quantum grammar? That know it in their head? How many? So tell me how important it is for anything. And where it's been in the lawful process, the laws of nature. All right, it's a rabbit hole. It's just like sending Mookie $50 and your family tree and birth certificate and a bunch of other paperwork over there in Australia because you Americans are too dumb to make a national ID for yourself. So Mookie's going to do it for you. Just give him $50 and give him all your personal information. That's how dumb you are. I mean, good golly. The rabbit holes that people are going down is mind-boggling. You got all power, people. And the truckers, I'm hoping that you're going to get this message because you truckers have so much power, unbelievable power, both independently and as a whole. So independently, you truckers can deal with your sheriffs and your coroners and your county commissioners. That's where our highest lawful position is in every one of our nations, Americans. 48 contiguous states are populated. Chain of title of the lawful time period, the United States of America, capital T, capital U, capital S, capital A. You got an assembly that did it, and nobody knows about it. That ought to tell you something. That's the people coming together. The AFR.org. Check it out. All right. So legal is administrative. So stop saying legal. In your head, when somebody says legal, think administrative. When they tell you need an attorney, well, if they're referring to a bar attorney for some administrative process, understand they're telling you to go talk with the enemy. That's how dumb we are. That's how dumb we've been. My whole life has been a lie. So this stuff is simple, but you got so many rabbit holes. You get so much BS. You get so much misteaching. You got good teachers that take you 80% of the way there so they can steer you down the wrong path. And they charge you for it. I don't charge for anything. I sell nothing. You can't buy a hat from me. You can't buy a t-shirt. I wish you could buy some health products, but the government oppression and suppression has just been, well, it is what it is today. All right, spring's coming. I'm not the same man I was last year. Yep. Because I didn't know nothing about any of this lawful, legal, freedom movement, a state constitution. I didn't know any of that a year ago. But I got critical thinking. And I listened and I listened and I listened and I moved and I moved and I moved because I wasn't going to get stuck. I could see where the sticking points were. And I was thirsty for knowledge. So I kept just keep at it. And it's nonstop. So anyways, pine needle tree. Pine needle tea from a pine needle tree. 5 needles off of one shoot. That's how you know you got 5 needle pine. All right. Everybody, contact your sheriff. Let them know about the people's position. We're serving them all with notice of treason. And the deputies. Now, where do I go with this? There's different things happening. I talked about the international court. I talked about the strict statutes in previous video. That's coming into play here. Now, there's $20,000 a month bonus for a deputy that steps up to be a constitutional deputy. If you got to arrest your sheriff, arrest him. The sheriffs need to arrest their buddies, okay? They need to arrest in jail. Arrest means to stop. To jail means incarcerate. And the sheriff gets his order from the grand jury of we the people, not the grand jury of administrative land, of assumptions and presumptions. That's how it is. So the sheriffs that are there are going to have to arrest their buddies. They're going to have to arrest the judges. They're going to have to arrest the prosecuting attorneys. Those are two that know what they're doing. The sheriffs might need to arrest themselves. Some of them are just absolutely playing a part in it. Some others got into it thinking they're going to follow Sheriff Mack, who's only going to take them part way there and then steer them right into that administrative system. Sheriff Mack doesn't believe in assemblies. Sheriff Mack doesn't believe in the people. Sheriff Mack wants the sheriffs working with the enemy. So with this international court and strict statutes from a case that's 10 years old, That happened in the middle of the 30-day notice of treason for the sheriffs to respond. So the people are really looking to help save the sheriffs from themselves, if that's at all possible. I do believe there's some good men. People want to say you're trapped. Well, I say you make that decision to put that badge on every day. You make the decision. So that argument doesn't hold water with me that you're trapped. You're going to take our money and trick us into that administrative process. You got your bailiffs in those administrative courts. You put the free people in your jails. The prisons are full of people for marijuana. It rejuvenates lost gum tissue. Science can't do that. They put it in writing. And then when I discover it, I go to jail and the government spends $1.8 billion to find another way. And when they fail, and they know they're failing, they attack my patent. They continue attacking me. And then a few months later, the results of the study come out. They failed to regenerate gum tissue. That's your government. Medicine, poison control. Doctor, poison control expert. Legal, it's administrative. All of this is there to kill you. It's murder. 15 million root canal teeth every year caused from harm that can be prevented with marijuana. But let's put people in jail. Let's destroy lives and just keep killing them with toxic teeth. And then sending them to the poison control experts for poison control, for their poisoning. I mean, come on, people. So I can see some people tuning in here. I don't have my glasses on. I can't read the comments, and I didn't bring them over because I wasn't going to read anything. Kind of brain farted on the comments. But to start out about pine needle tree. Oh, something else that I got in the description. Through all of this, I met a fella in a voice chat by the name of Doyle Harris. And he's dealing with a family member, a dear one, with some very serious health issues. And so we've had some good talks, and I like Doyle. And he's got 2 Telegram channels, one where he posts and one to chat. And there's a lot of real good information on natural healing through natural herbs, natural foods, and more. Frequency, spiritual. So I want you to know that those links are in the description of this video. Because like I said, I'm coming back full circle to health. Health is what woke me up. But it took all my life. And then in 2015, it really accelerated when just weeks after I have the evidence in my hand from an independent dentist that I've never met, here come the treasonous rats to destroy my life, shut down my business, raid my business, steal my stuff, steal my guns, steal my cash, freeze my bank accounts, take my vehicles, on and on and on, ignore the court order, leave almost everything that they were supposed to take, to the point that I ordered a 5-yard dumpster for things that I could lawfully have, but would be very damning for me. Dumped hundreds of gallons of solution, and more. because I could smell the setup. I could smell the trap, and I knew that I had something. But holy cow, the attacks just kept coming and coming and coming, but I couldn't see them because I had this mental block. I couldn't see that these were attacks, but they were. And it wasn't until about this time last year when I'm petitioning the DEA, I'm writing an open letter, that I learned about state constitution, and that's where our power is. And then I got into all these different rabbit holes to go down. But I just kept applying critical thinking. So it's just as simple, people. All you got to do is own your authority. So again, the link to the AFR.org is in the description of this video. Oh, I think also I have Own Your Authority Part 6. I talk about the bar, the American Bar Association forming in the late 1800s, their primary objective, setting the academic standards. You can see where that's gotten us, right? There's also a link in the description of that video, Own Your Authority Part 6. In the description of that video, Part 6, is a link to take an 8th grade test from the late 1800s in Salina, Kansas. Just take a look at it. It'll only take you 5 or 10 minutes. If you want to take the test, there's time limits. I think you get an hour for this section and a certain amount of time for that section. I can't remember what it is, but there's time limits. Also, Why You're a Coward. There's a link to a video in there as well. Oh, something else I wanted to mention. Comments are getting deleted from my videos. And I'm not the one doing it. All right, there's good comments coming in. These are not comments that should be removed. They are good comments. I watched them come in and go, literally right there in front of my eyes before I could even read it. And I get comments of people telling me in comments, the comments are getting deleted. It's interesting, though, because they send emails about comments. So I got emails of comments that I've read and commented back on that aren't in the comments in the video when you go to watch the video or rewatch it. So I just want you to know I'm not the one deleting your comments. And I thank all of you for being brave enough to engage with me. Those that are brave enough to give a thumbs up, I know that takes courage. It does. And putting in a comment takes courage. It does. Owning your authority takes courage. Knowledge is power. Power will give you courage. Get the confusion out of your life. Get the mental blocks out of your head. Do away with all the rabbit holes that aren't going to do you nothing. And you need to be healthy to do that. So on Telegram, you can follow Doyle Harris and all he shares for health. You can get a hold of you can get in touch with the AFR. You can go through the process, become a member. And more. All right, everybody. Own your authority. Please help get this message to the truckers. The truckers have so much power. They do. And in groups and individually. And driving across the country to a foreign land to drive laps around the foreign land and honk your horn and protest over a mandate what's it going to do? Why not go talk to the sheriff and the deputies and the county coroner, where they have you listed as dead, if you have a coroner. In Michigan, we don't have a coroner. They abrogated it. The enemy abrogated our coroner, the one who's there to determine whether you're dead or alive. And administrative things called courts, unlawful, treasonous processes. I lost my train of thought there. Too much running through my head. Anyways, I know you all are getting the message. Help get it to the truckers. Yeah, here in Michigan, the coroner thing, I think that's what I was talking about. If I had glasses on, somebody might be telling me here in the comments. I can't respond to your comments right now because my eyes are tired. And so anyways, that's the message, folks. Be healthy. Oh, that's what I was going to say. You got to be healthy to fight. You got to be healthy to have a clear head. So you got to take care of yourself. And Doyle puts out a lot of really good information. That's all I can say, is a lot of very good information you can discern for yourself. But I am having results, and I explained my my experience in this talk. If you missed it, you'll have to just start at the beginning and catch that part if it's of interest to you. All right, everybody, own your authority. Love you. Be free. Let's free the imprisoned, and let's deal with the treasonous rats. Let's put an end to this war. Let's just round them up, put them in jail. We know where they're at. They hide in the public. They protect themselves in the private. We're coming.